Okay. I just wanted to make sure, because now we're live. This living room is now live. Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome. Welcome. Let's say everybody else say hello before we get started.
Hi.
Hi. Now, there's only one child in the house this evening, so the likelihood of interruptions is a little bit lower. I also want to note that last night, well, first of all, I jumped on the live right away right now because I wanted you to see the sunset. It's
It
just
is
beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. This beautiful sunset belies the fact that we are living in a state of war and emergency. And the fact that we walked around all day, doing our shopping and going for a nice walk, going to the park, also belies the fact that this is a country at war on multiple fronts. And so here we are. So under our sort of lockdown now, except for the fact that, like I said, the kids aren't here because they're so bored out of their minds that everybody will now risk sirens and missiles to say, yes, it's okay to sleep at your friends' houses. I mean, we've had sleepovers here and now the kids are elsewhere, and this is not the first night. So, anyway, war lag has set in. So, aside from the fact that we did get a whopping 8 hours of sleep, well, I mean, between missiles, it could have been longer, but we definitely, well, I could say because of the time we went to bed to the time we actually woke up, we did not wake up to a siren. We did not wake up to alert. We just woke up naturally for the first time in a week. So it's 1 week now. This is the 1 week mark. Actually, we marked it at 3 a.m., but we didn't mark it because we were sleeping. And I have to say that I looked at, like, I heard myself speaking in my last live last night, and I could see like my brain function is like at 1%. I mean, I couldn't come up with words. I was like, what's that word? What is that? Like, where is it? Like, I know that word, but I can't remember it. So bad. So anyway, this 8 hours has made an incredible difference. It's not enough. I think my brain functions up to 3% now. But anyway, okay, I just want to say hi to a few people who popped on. Hi, Laura. Laura, also my parents are still here.
Hi, Laura.
And Lavella, thank you for joining. I haven't seen you in a while. Very cool. Anyway, what the big news today? I don't even know where to start. I'm going to start with a quote from the chief of staff of the Army, who said today, "Prepare yourselves for a long and ongoing war." Oh my gosh, Tony, that's the guy from that they imitated yesterday in Eretz Nehederet. Oh my God, it's so funny. Ruben, hey, glad to catch you live. Tony, say hi to Ruben.
Hey, Ruben.
You like my high tech, swivel of the camera? It's very, it's great, right? And Ruben says hi. You missed him by, I don't know, like, was it a week or two or something, or not even days, probably days. But anyway, when you go to Texas next time, you can visit. Chances are you'll be there before us. So anyway, so we're in for the long haul. So every night I feel like there's something different to say. America's getting involved. America's not getting involved. Or the, what do you call it? There's the missiles are tapering off. And no, the missiles are actually back again. So it's like up and down. And so here's where we're at. I'll just tell you what has happened in the past 24 hours, and you can judge for yourself. Today, all day today, since my last live, I have not heard another quote from Trump indicating for or against America joining the war. Since my last live, we went through the entire night with no sirens or rockets, and then there was at 7 a.m. a rocket in a single rocket launched, and it landed in Beersheba, and it landed in Beersheba. It was not intercepted, so that's actually a big deal. We'll talk about that. But and then we went through most of the day, like, I guess it's over. Did Israel actually destroy Iran's capabilities? Wow. Did they? Is it possible? And then at 10 to 4, this, the blaring, like, bah, 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 like Amber Alert type thing on our phones. And it says emergency alert. Sirens are probably expected in your region of the country. And then it said it like in all regions of the country. And sure enough, if you look at the thumbnail of this video on Facebook, I put a picture of one of the 4 pictures. It's like Israel, Iran, whatever, like a bunch of different pictures. But the rocket alerts were from Eilat, which is like 4 hours south of here, like this 4-hour drive. I don't know how many miles, all the way southernmost city in the country to all the way north. So the entire country was getting rockets, and it was a barrage of 25. There were many that escaped detection, and a lot of people are asking, what's the deal now with detection? Why, was the Iron Dome was between 95 to 99% effective for all of Hamas and Hezbollah rockets and missiles. And the Houthis as well. And so what's happening now? It turns out these ballistic missiles are so fast, and it's not the Iron Dome. The Iron Dome doesn't cope with ballistic missiles. There's a multi-layered air defense system, including David's sling, and this was it the Arrow, and then the other thing is the American system. The Americans have provided us with this thing. We're using the THAAD, THAAD. How would you say that? So anyway, all of these systems are at work, and it's too bad he's all right. What was the percentage of detections?
65%.
65%. So from 95 with these lower tech weapons, it is now 65% with these couple thousand pounds warheads, ballistic missiles flying across continents or across countries from 1,000 miles, and they are escaping detection, and they are landing, and they're causing so much damage. Today's rocket barrage hit a mosque, in addition to other locations, in addition to a daycare center. Luckily, the daycare center was empty. Oh wow! Thank you, Ruben, for doing the math for me. The distance between Jerusalem and Eilat is approximately 315 kilometers, or 196 miles. So, okay, so that just goes to show you, like, that's just from Jerusalem south, and then from Jerusalem north, there were also rockets. But the Iranians hit a mosque. They already have also, like, destroyed a Muslim family. They were the victims on, I think it was Saturday night, of a horrible rocket attack that killed a woman and 3 of her daughters. And so, wait, hold on a second. I'm going to check some of my notes here. Okay, so this mosque was actually, there were worshipers there, and the missile did injure some of them who were in there. So far, by the way, nobody's been killed in this latest barrage. But wait, I've got to find the latest statistics. Where was it? It's here. Another woman, a woman did die. 51-year-old woman had a heart attack in the bomb shelter after she ran there, and they could not revive her. Let me tell you about some of the other injuries. Mind you, I'm only giving you the Israel side of the news because that's all I have access to. I have no access to Iranian news. Just what some of the I have some channels I follow that monitor the Iranian news and they translate it. But anyway, there's not much. Okay, so 3 were seriously injured today. The rockets landed, I think, in Haifa, near Tel Aviv, and again in Beersheba at around 4 o'clock. I was supposed to be on a call, a briefing at this time at 4 o'clock, and I'm texting them like, guys, I'm in a bomb shelter. I don't know when I'll be out. So anyway, okay, so here's a report from it's the Magan David Adom, which is like the Red Cross, but it's the Red Star of David. Okay, provided life-saving medical treatment and evacuated 23 injured individuals, in 3 in serious condition, including a 16-year-old boy with shrapnel wounds to his upper body, and 2 men, 54 and 40 years old, with shrapnel injuries to their lower limbs. Then MDA paramedic Ahmad Zidan said, I was at home, and as soon as I received the alert from Homefront Command, I entered the protected space with my family. A few minutes later, we heard a very loud noise and felt a blast wave. When I exited the shelter, I saw that the windows in my house were shattered and there was a lot of broken glass. I reported the incident to MDA's 101 dispatch center and headed to the scene, which was only a few dozen meters from me. He went with the mobile intensive care unit that he's assigned to. I saw heavy smoke and massive destruction in the building near the parking area that was hit by the rocket. A teenage boy around 16 and a man in his 50s were walking nearby, both suffering from severe shrapnel and blast injuries. I began providing medical treatment, and when additional MDA forces arrived, I urgently evacuated the 2 seriously injured victims to the hospital. All right, now here's a report from the EMT Ariel Danilovsky. When I arrived at the street, I saw extensive damage to the building whose adjacent parking lot was hit by a rocket, as well as damage to nearby buildings. Several injured people were in the street, conscious and suffering from bleeding, shrapnel wounds, and bodily injury. Alongside other MDA teams, we provided them with medical care and evacuated them. Okay, and then Assad Joe Haddad. After receiving the report, we responded. We saw destruction, extensive destruction. There was significant commotion. I joined my MDA responders treating a 40-year-old man who was conscious but suffering from severe shrapnel blasts. So this was just from one scene earlier today. Very serious blast. I said it hit a mosque, also hit a daycare, but there were people in the mosque, but nobody was killed, and the daycare was empty because it was Friday afternoon. Actually, even one of the buildings that was hit, like if it was the middle of a work day, there would have been a higher casualty toll. But it was a Friday and people already cleared out, like I would say from early Friday afternoon, people are heading home for the most part. So business centers are not occupied, and neither are schools. That's for sure. Not to mention there have been no schools or daycare for a week now. So the updated information from the Israeli side. In 1 week, 450 ballistic missiles, 400 UAVs, which are unmanned aerial vehicles or drones in our parlance, more than 50 impact sites. 24 people have been killed, 1,200 injured. Some of them remain in serious condition or hospitalized. And 8,000 people have been evacuated from their homes. And we met 2 of them today in our bomb shelter. A young couple from Tel Aviv area. They're both born in the US. They've lived here for about 5 years. And she's pregnant. And they were actually not at their home when the blast hit. They had gone to another city for, I think it was Shabbat or something. I don't know. They were somehow staying with somebody else, and they found out that their neighborhood, the blast was like across the street or down the block, and yet their house is now unlivable. Like the windows are shattered. Everything in the house, like everything that was on the wall, fell off the wall. And she's pregnant, and so she's like, "We're not staying in our house." So anyway, so they had to move. So they moved to her mother's apartment here in Jerusalem, and they were walking down the street today on the way back to her mom's house when the sirens went off, and they went running looking for the nearest bomb shelter. And they were saying, like, if our building door, our entry, like where the street is, if that door had been closed, they wouldn't have tried to look there, and actually you wouldn't even be able to get in because it locks. And but it was open, and they saw there was a shelter, so they were able to get to safety. So I mean, it's just crazy things like this that are happening on a daily basis. Now, I want to tell you, I just want to read to you a little bit something else here. So a friend of mine, well, somebody I know who is our paths have crossed for many years, and kids go to the same school, etc. But anyway, she's a great writer, and she has this great article today. I shared it on Facebook. I got to start also figuring out how to share things on YouTube, and then vice versa. But she wrote this article just about how how we have normalized the situation and the things that that you do, like in your new routine. But she says something so poignant, and listen to this. I'm just going to read you this small part. Planning is a privilege. As we hover in the spaces between alerts, warnings, updates, and all that we have is a totality of now. And the present moment consists of an increasingly uncertain game of probabilities. At first, Iran attacked only at night. Seriously? It's Lucas calling on somebody else's phone. Sorry. So yeah, back to, I just lost the whole thing. Okay. At first, Iran attacked only at night. So you calculated that you could lower your guard and increase your radius during the day. But then there was that attack at 4 p.m, which actually then happened again today after she wrote this article, followed by some morning attacks. At first, we were assured that the shelters and residential protector rooms were guaranteed to keep you safe. But then there was that couple killed instantly when a ballistic missile made a direct hit on their protected room. So she talks about, all of, the reactions and responses of different people, like the religious Jews, religious Muslims, the different approaches. She herself is Jewish. Her name is Rebecca. And actually, Rebecca has agreed to be interviewed next week on this show. So we're going to do either Sunday or Monday. But I left because I was like, well, Rebecca, since we know that planning is a privilege, let's just tentatively say Sunday or Monday, and let's not try to plan anything because we know how that goes. So anyway. So we're going to talk to her about all of those things. And also she has some very interesting personal insights as well from her whole life. And you are definitely going to want to hear from Rebecca Bardock next week. So stay tuned. Our week starts here on Sunday. So we plan to either do it Sunday or Monday of next week. So, all right. I think I've reached the end of my spiel. I think I've reached the end of my my 3% brain capacity right now, and I have no other extraneous information. I'm looking at everybody here in the living room to see. Oh, and hello, Bridget. Hi. I just saw another chat here. Oh, you know what? No, I'm not going to go there because I didn't even watch any more of the guys' videos. Anybody have anything to offer?
Well, Israel is bringing a lot of people home back here, and starting Monday, they're going to people like us find a way to get us back home.
Okay, so the what would you call it? Not refugees. What would you call yourselves here? Stranded.
Stranded, yeah.
Stranded. The opposite of refugees. Okay, so there are Israelis stranded outside. There are tourists stranded inside. And then there are the Israelis who are inside who are saying, get me out of here. So it's just like, I find the whole Israeli situation really funny because there are the Israelis who are out are all frantically trying to get back in. And there have been some rescue flights for them to get back in. And then there are the Israelis who are like, what are we doing here? Why do I still live in this country? Oh my gosh. And they're trying to get out, which I think is really funny because I'm like, wow, like too bad they didn't already switch places. But then there's the tourists. And oh, wait a second, let me say hello to Justin from Colorado. Tony, it's Justin. And Tony's giving you the piece. So, by the way, this is Justin basketball,
Yeah,
right?
He sends me.
Can I tell you about our
Justin
son
Friedman,
Lucas,
right?
by the way? Yes,
Friedman,
Justin
yeah,
Friedman.
tell him I get
Yeah.
his messages on WhatsApp. He sends me prayers and everything.
Oh,
so, yeah.
Tony says thank you. He's getting your messages on WhatsApp and everything. So that's awesome. All right, wait. And Tammy Looney here says, what struck me on Rebecca's blog is the fact that people are still joining with others for meals, something that Americans used to do almost weekly. Have Americans lost something that Israel hasn't? Well, I mean, look, the Jewish people, you could say, and I wrote a book with somebody. It was her book, but like I was like an advisor to her book. She's Jewish, she's Orthodox Jewish, and I learned a lot about the Jewish ethos and mentality. So of course, Israel being the Jewish state has a lot of these Jewish customs and traditions that have carried on. And so yeah, they don't miss a Shabbat. They don't, even secular Jews in Israel, they don't miss Shabbat dinner with their family. And I did, so not only her book, but then another article I did an article once about Zionism. I forgot why. It was for a occasion, like a milestone or landmark or something. And I interviewed a few extremely interesting people. Troy, what's his name? Wow, I can't remember his name. So fascinating because he said that the Judaism in Israel it's not the same as in the US or overseas, but like here, no Jewish kid, young person is going to miss dinner with his mother and his grandmother on a Friday, even if he does plan to go out clubbing afterwards. Like he doesn't have to be religious to still have that custom or tradition of having that family dinner, the Shabbat dinner. So that is really interesting. And also they do the holidays and everything. So yeah, over here, people are having dinners, hosting dinners. People aren't necessarily hunkered down. I would say maybe the first day or two, there was a little bit of nervousness, but now it's kind of balanced out. By the way, Dottie Bevilacqua also said hi, but Dottie, not just hi to Nicole. Look who's here.
Hi, Dottie. Hi.
And Bernadette. I don't see Bernadette.
Oh
Really? Bernadette. I didn't see Bernadette here, but hi, Bernadette.
Do you see her message?
No, I don't.
Okay, she went to the Cabrini Shrine in Colorado yesterday, prayed for Israel and for the whole
Seriously?
family in Israel. And this is on Facebook. And in the U.S., hug your mom and dad.
Oh, Bernadette, thank you. Tony just said you went somewhere to pray. Cabrini Shrine. I want to see that movie, by the way. Sister Cabrini, or what's it called?
Mother
Cabrini. We didn't get it here.
Excellent movie.
I want to see that. But Bernadette, thank you. I'm sorry. Your comment's not appearing here on this. Oh, that's so funny. So Ruben says, I like that. Shabbat in Israel feels like Christmas every Friday. Truly. Well, I have to say, when I was with this woman, actually, so great book, if I do say so myself. It's called Chutzpah, Wisdom, and Wine, The Tales of an Unstoppable Woman by Jody Samuels. And I was with Jody. I just saw Jody for the first time in like 6-7 months this morning. And we talked about, and I'm going to tell you a little bit what we talked about getting out of the country. But she's a very inspiring woman. But I mean, it was fascinating that she said only a Christian from she's like whatever New York, whatever it was, I forgot exactly. Like, she's like, only a Christian could have written or helped write my book, as an Orthodox Jew. She's like, I don't think the Orthodox Jews get me, but you got me, you get it. And I was like. And I'm like, yeah, because also I had to learn everything from scratch because, like, I don't know what this is. But one of her stories, and by the way, we're just totally off the war right now. I mean, why not? Enjoy the sunset. There's still a little glimmer right there. But and there are no Orthodox Jews watching this right now, by the way, in Israel, because they're all, it's Shabbat. It's over.
Right, Shabbat.
But so she has this one story. She oh wow, sorry, I interrupt myself. There was a missile impact in Shafaramo. I didn't even know that. That's an Arab town up in where we have friends.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. Nawal and Anis, Barhum. Okay, so she checked on them. There were no injuries, only material damage. Oh my gosh. All right, so I'll check on them later. And hi, Walter. Okay, so I was interrupting myself. Okay, so Jody and her husband Gavin. If you ever come to Israel, if you bring a tour group, like next time, Ruben, when you start bringing your tours, you can do like a Shabbat experience with a Jewish family, and Jody does that. Like, she hosts groups, for Shabbat dinner, and so she was supposed to one Friday. They had just moved into a new apartment. And they didn't even know where the switches were in the house. And, for like, everything was new. When you move into a new house and everything's new. And plus, it was still being renovated. The guys hadn't finished renovating it. That's Israel. And so they had like scaffolding, and one side they had, whatever. And so they're getting like all of the stuff ready. And of course, the issue of after Shabbat, no electricity. Like, what's on is on, what's off is off. You don't touch anything. I can't tell you all the rules. I don't know. But anyway, sure enough, they have got a group coming that night. She didn't say no. I can't take the group. She tried to get out of it. They're like, no, they really want you. I think she had like 40 Chinese businessmen and women coming to her house. Yes, Daniel, you can come say hi.
Say hi? Come
Ruben
say hi.
probably wants to see you.
Come, Ruben wants to say
And
hi.
others.
Oh.
Yeah.
Go ahead, go say hi.
Incoming. At least we're getting an alert for this one. Go ahead. Daniel, come, say hi.
Hi, did you boo? How you boo?
All right. You're not getting a lot. Okay. So, all right. So 40 guests from China are coming to dinner at her house. And she's there, setting up the hot plates and getting all the food ready and everything like that. And the electricity goes out. They've got like 1 hour till Shabbat. They're calling. Of course, the electrician already has his phone off. They have no idea where the switches are. They don't even know yet how to get around their house in the dark. So they are frantic. She's trying to call low, don't tell the group not to come. It's impossible. We can't host them. But it was too late. Nobody was answering their phones, and the group shows up. And they have not found the electricity. So she goes outside to greet them, and she's like, well, here's what I have to say. We've had this tradition of Shabbat, for 3,000 years now, or is it 5,000 years? I don't think it's from the beginning of time, but since Shabbat was instituted, like let's say 3,000, we've had Shabbat for 3,000 to 5,000 years, and we are not about to break it this week right here, just because we don't know where the electricity is. So you are welcome to come in. You are welcome to leave if you want. You are welcome to use your phones and with your flashlights, but we can't. And the food is cold, and I'm really sorry. But now you understand. You have just learned all of Jewish history with this one evening in the dark at our home. And that's exactly how it transpired that night for their dinner. So no, they do not give up on their Shabbat meals. So anyway, there's a lot that we can learn, I think, from that. I think as Christians, we have family traditions surrounding the holidays, but there isn't one uniting religious tradition. I mean, even if you say, oh, I go to church on this Sunday or that Sunday, but every church does a different thing, and there's nothing, and every liturgy is different, if there even is a liturgy. But it's not the same as, like the same prayer book that's existed for hundreds or thousands of years and everything. So anyway, it's a little bit different. And anyway, so that's that. So the stranded tourist. Now, Jody's also an expert traveler, and she's been to over 100 countries, which makes me very jealous. But she's like a little bit of a psychotic traveler. Like she has to. Like I always joke, I send her a message. I'm like, where does this message catch you now? Like in what country? And so, so surprisingly, she got stuck here in Israel for this last one. So we were actually going to meet last Friday, and Friday morning after, the sirens had gone off at 3 a.m. and we didn't know it was going to happen. And we're like, yeah, like, let's call it off today. Well, let's not meet this morning because who knows what will be. And we got to shop and blah, 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 whatever. So we met this Friday instead, and she was already supposed to be overseas, but naturally her flight was canceled. All flights were canceled. Every flight's canceled. Arkia is canceled till next month. El Al's booked. Even when they start again, they're already booked. It's like impossible. We are literally stuck here. So anyway, okay. So she knows how to play the system. She knows how to do the miles and the this and that, whatever. She knows all the tricks of traveling, but this is a little bit more challenging. However, she has called all the embassies of which she has citizenship, and she has told that, like registered. We also, how we met originally is that we have one thing we do have in common is a child with an extra chromosome. Mine is making noise over here in the background, and her daughter Kayla is 17 years old. So that's, that was our first connection. And anyway, so she said, she's like, when you need to use it, you use it. And she wrote on her application, my daughter with Down syndrome is suffering severe anxiety because of the missiles and the sirens. So we really need to be first on your list to be evacuated. And my husband, whose visa is not in order, needs to come with me because I need him. Anyway, while I was sitting with her this morning, she got a call from from one of the embassies saying like, oh yeah, you're definitely on the list. You might be able to get out on Sunday. And she's so funny because she's already got not one, but two refundable flights scheduled from different airports in different neighboring countries. And I'm like, wow, she really is ahead of the game. And I'm like, and we're sitting here relying on our contacts that aren't helping us right now with the Americans, or is it just the Americans in general? Because actually it wasn't America that called her when I was sitting here with somebody else. Okay, the name of the book again is Chutzpah, Wisdom, and Wine, Tales of an Unstoppable Woman. And if I knew that it was right there, I'll write it here. But Tony, can you see if it's on the top shelf there? Because it doesn't go in the office. Because when I put in the chat, it doesn't go to both. All right, I'm writing it. I'm writing in the chat. You guys tell me if it went to the YouTube chat or the Facebook chat. I don't know. It looks like it went to YouTube, and it seems that I can't post to all channels. All right, go ahead. Tony will write it on Facebook. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't really know where it would be. Yeah, it's like medium. It's like 300 pages, I think. All right, don't worry about it. Okay. Wow, I'm gonna get commission. I'm gonna talk to her after Shabbat. Get commission for this. I did not intend to sell her book, but it's so worth it. What book was I trying to sell the other day? Marzi's book. You got to read Marzi's book. Maybe you can find Marzi's book while you're there. No, Marzi's book is over there. Tony. Well, if the kids were here, this is Jody's book on that shelf under where the pictures are. There's Jody.
What picture?
On top of the world. Oh, the journey of an unstoppable. Yeah, no, not inside, on the shelf
Ah, I see.
with the bookshelf. It's like one of the ones that's not, I think, slotted in, but maybe on
Well,
top.
tell people to go watch that YouTube as well that you did.
So Tony says yes. So I'm going to show you another book, but go watch the YouTube if you haven't. The interview with Marzieh Amirazadeh, because that was amazing. Because she's amazing, and she talked about like her knowledge of how Iran works, and you know what could be not just in Iran but overseas. So anyway, I what else? I was going to end this, and it's so funny. Oh my gosh, this is such a funny quote. And to think that a week and a half ago, the most interesting news was about Greta and her little flotilla. Okay, here is Marzi's book. Wow, I'm just going to start a book club, guys. Oh my gosh, can you get the book on my my
Yeah, I'll get you a
bedstand?
book, all right? I'll get you a book. Your next
I
book's
have a
your
really
next
good
book
book
is
there.
coming flying at you. That's what it is.
All right, so this is Marzi's book, which she told me was like a devotional. Like it says it's but or like I mean anyway, that's how what she told me when she was, because her other one is all about prison. And anyway, I was like, no, this is like a memoir. Oh my gosh. I'm like, it's so like amazing. And her faith and boldness is just so inspiring. So I highly recommend these two books. Very, very powerful books. What do you think, Daniel?
No, good.
You know Jody. You know Marzi too. Daniel's met them all. So he's going to put the book away. Oh my gosh. Okay. Tammy's laughing. She goes, Greta. Oh my gosh, there were so many great memes with the Greta trip, but it's like old news. I'm sorry to say that, and this is a very sad part of this, on two sides, is that the whole Gaza war is it's not old news. It's current ongoing news that's not in the headlines, which is extremely sad because what was I going to say? Because of Iran. I mean, because this is all we're talking about right here. Are they going to hit the core at Fordo is what they're saying here on this panel. So we're only talking about Iran, and sadly, there's two things going on. There's the continued suffering of the Gazans, and that is a fact. And oh wow, okay. So wait, Ruben said he found it on Amazon. Awesome. Okay, so there's the Gazans who are suffering right now, and there are the hostages, the Israeli hostages that are still there, 20 of them minimum, who are still alive and who nobody speaks about. While I was out this morning, I did see that there are still rallies for the hostages going on. And there was one today in the German colony here in Jerusalem. So it's not in the forefront of anybody's thinking. And this was the big bone of contention up until recently. It would probably be the main thing that we would talk about here on these lives. Okay, so one of the other things we can just to leave you with about the missile launches from Iran, which are no joke. When you get a siren, you go to the shelter. It's not like, they never come to Jerusalem. You don't play that game with the Iranian missiles. But what I was going to say is that there are fewer missiles in each barrage now. And one of the reasons is Israel has a level of air superiority over Iran that they are able to take out the mobile missile launchers. And they released some documentation, some videos of that, like there was a truck with a missile on it, and you see They
Oh.
just took it out. So that's why, like this,
Oh, no.
Daniel. Yeah,
God.
thanks.
The government.
So that's why this morning there was only one missile that made it through to Beersheba, but today there were 25. So what went wrong with that one? And I also like to say, like, despite the fact that it looks like Israel made very serious progress, they put a number out of what they thought their capabilities. It's probably too many messages back for me to find this quote, but I'll do a quick one. No, I'm not going to find it. About how many or what kind of damage that they thought that they did to the missile launchers and stuff like that. I think because they said they took out a certain percentage of
2/3 of their launchers.
2/3 of their launchers.
They believe that they have 100 left.
Thank you, Tony. They believe that they only have 100 missile launchers left. Well, it's still
Whoa.
That's still a lot.
still a lot. It's still a lot. So thank you for that,
Okay.
because I was never going to find that where I saw that. So, all right. So if that's the case, but how many missiles do they have? How many have
They've
been
launched
destroyed?
560.
They've what?
They've launched a total of 560.
Really? I only have 400 something in
That
this
was-
latest
that
update.
was a day or 2 days ago.
Nice.
I read somewhere on Channel 12.
Okay. So
520 or 60.
all right.
I don't
So
remember.
between whatever I said to 520 is what they're saying that they've launched, but I don't know how many they have. And also
3,000.
with how many?
They start with 3,000.
Okay.
so they have
Only
about
3,000?
3,000
Because
missiles.
Hezbollah had 150,000.
How much?
Hezbollah has 150,000
Yeah, but
missiles.
these are bigger
No,
missiles.
we're talking about ballistic. We're not
Yeah,
talking
these are-
about
these
their.
are-
Oh, the ballistic
Well,
missiles,
those are
but
the only ones that can reach.
That's
from
true.
Iran.
that is true.
Yeah.
Okay, so of the ones that can actually reach across from the ballistic missiles from Iran to Israel, they had 3,000.
3,000.
Okay, so anyway,
Now
so
they're
there is a
sending-
finite number, so it's a little bit more hopeful than, let's say, like Hezbollah, which has still I don't know how many, but they started with 150,000 plus and
Whoa.
launched 10,000 at Israel, and then
Whoa.
Israel
Whoa.
destroyed several up until the ceasefire in November,
Whoa.
and then a little bit after that.
Whoa.
So anyway, so I'm
Whoa.
still cautious. And
Whoa.
anyway, every time there's a
Whoa.
siren, you have to exercise caution.
Whoa.
So I don't know where this is
Whoa.
headed. I don't know.
Whoa.
Well, the latest
The
is
US
also
come-
has the little rockets that.
Oh yeah, that's true. I didn't talk about this today. I
Whoa.
talked about this
Whoa.
yesterday. The latest missiles have come in are like cluster bombs, like they contain cluster bombs. They come in with the warhead that releases like the several mini bombs inside. And though those bombs, once released, might do like less damage, they actually
Yeah.
are spread over a wider
Whoa.
area. So the danger, it's a different danger.
Good.
Anyway, it's now been 20 minutes since I said I had nothing to say.
Well, you're opening up for questions. Also, you should open up for
Yeah, of
questions.
course.
I mean, but again,
All right. I mean, anytime, ask questions. That's fine. I can open it up for questions. But if Ohan were here, he would have already asked 20 questions about like the price of gasoline in Syria or like some geopolitical thing
well,
that
there's
nobody
none
can
left in
answer.
Iran, so. How are they launching anything without fuel these days?
They have no fuel left.
Well, I mean, they're
Whoa.
running low.
All right. This has been lively
Whoa.
and exciting. And
Whoa.
the funny thing is, I was
Yeah.
thinking also, let's do this early so we can go to bed. And now it's like I got my second wind.
Oh.
This is
Oh,
so
no.
funny.
Oh.
Could I say the kids won't wake us up in the morning, but it's not the kids that have been waking us up lately. All right. Well, anyway, no, I really am going to go now. Daniel, you want to help me say goodbye
Go
here?
say bye.
Valuable.
But no, go ahead, go there.
Who are you saying bye to? Come here.
Okay.
All right.
Is
Hilarious.
there a cat out?
I don't know if she's out. I think she's not. I think she's in. All right. Anyway, I'm going to go. We're going to go. Look, I think people want to go
Okay,
also.
Bye.
Bye. And Daniel,
Bye.
Hold on.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Boo.
Bye. I think he's saying Ruben, but like, anyway. All right. Awesome. Guys, thanks for,
Whoa.
thanks. This was fun. And, oh, wait. Now, Ruben, I just saw a question from Ruben pop in. Are these guys, there are a lot less missiles. Yes, there are a lot less missile launches from Iran at the moment. So let's see if that continues. Yeah, I for one am just being cautious, and yeah, and hello and goodbye to Zemi as well. Emily is
Oh,
here.
hi, Sam.
Oh my gosh, one last story. How this war is impacting little children across the world. Because I heard that there's a little girl in Rhode Island who's really sad that her grandparents are not going to make it back for her recital, and how it can't even be video of that occasion. Because they won't allow videos of the recital. So I don't know. I think everybody needs to pray for that little girl, right, Emily? Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, now Ruben is coming up with the Ohan questions. How much of it is due to Israel taking out Iran's surface settlement? I think most of it's due to it, because actually I think that this
Whoa.
yeah, that I think at some point they were only doing mobile missile launchers, and they're trying to take those out too. So yeah, it's pretty insane. So it has to do with Israel's continued activity there. And so everybody who's on this call right now, say a little prayer for Naomi, who's very sad, and say a little prayer for her mom, who is going to try to surreptitiously video the recital, so that the grandparents will be able to see it. So anyway, guys, I am going to go, but thank you very much. We all thank you. And I'll see you again next time. Thank you for joining, and please join again, because it's always more fun when you're here. Keeps it lively. All right. Bye, everybody. Have a great